Welcome back to the Super 1 British Karting Championships here at Fulbeck. Louis Harvey joins me. Now, Louis, you've been a long time in junior TKM, but you've moved to junior ROK for this today. First races were yesterday and you won race 1. How have you found the kart so far?
It's really good. It's a lot quicker than the TKM, about 2 seconds a lap quicker. The power band kicks in quick, so it's really fun to drive. It's a different driving style, but hopefully it'll help us with our TKM racing as well.
And I know you had a bit of an issue in race 2, but that notwithstanding, you're enjoying the class?
Yeah, it's really fun. Like I said, the power band just makes the class so much better. All the people out there are enjoying it, especially me. So.
Okay, well, good luck today.
Cheers.
Well, Louis Harvey will certainly be one to beat this weekend. He won the first race of the weekend. However, it was this man, Will Orton, who bounced back to win races 2 and 3 over the weekend. Yesterday's final and the pre-final earlier, and he's just 2 points behind Louis Harvey as they come into this final race, race 4 of the weekend. Here's the grid positions then. It's Orton and Harvey on pole from Benjamin Doughty, Tiernan Rourke, Kieran Pepper, Isaac Lord and Max Davis. We've lost Bradley Beavers from the grid, it appears. We should have had 8. We're starting with 7. They're up into turn 1. It is the poleman, Will Orton, that holds on. Louis Harvey slots in behind. The 52 behind him is Tiernan Rourke. Rourke with a couple of podiums so far this weekend. It's Orton that leads it though. And earlier I spoke to Will Orton about his results this weekend so far. He won the final yesterday after DNFing in the pre-final, but came through to win the final yesterday. How have you enjoyed your weekend?
No, it's been a great weekend. Unlucky to DNF in the pre-final yesterday, but showed great pace and managed to win the final yesterday.
Who do you want to thank for your success this weekend?
My mum and dad.
End of lap 1, it's Orton that leads it from Harvey, but not for long. Jake down the inside. Here comes the championship leader.
Yep, Louis Harvey takes on Will Orton and gets through. A very busy pre-season for both of these men, but Louis Harvey definitely showing flair early on. Oh, and a little bit of a nudge nearly from Tiernan Rourke as he now comes up to the challenge. So he is trying to get himself in the mix as well. Ben Doughty is still there in 4th position, the young man from Kirby and Ashfield. That is going to be an interesting one for Ben Doughty. So let's see how he comes through. In 4th position, was 3rd earlier on. Tiernan Rourke has got past him in the early stages. Been keeping an eye on these two up front. Louis Harvey, no major surprise that he's the championship leader at this early stage. He's put a lot of hard work in his off-season, well, his pre-season, I should say. We're obviously into the meat and bones of the 2019 karting season, but the drivers do a lot of club rounds and a lot of different rounds in January and February to keep themselves in hand. Max Davies, of course, you saw him earlier winning the Junior TKM final. Well, he's there in 5th position, chasing after Ben Doughty. And then, of course, you've got the likes of Kieran Pepper and Isaac Lord still in the mix as well. Max Davies charging his way through after an earlier retirement from the pre-final. And he is here battling away for supremacy. Now, Will Orton, the man in 2nd position, has had a very busy time over the last few months. Isaac Lord, by the way, out of the race, sadly, has not come through the boot. And there are the yellow flags waving, so sadly he has retired in the very early stages of this one. So no Isaac Lord for the remainder of the race. That's a real shame, but Kieran Pepper's still going. There is Isaac Lord to the left. We just saw Kieran Pepper's details, the young man from Kirby and Finesse. But unfortunately for Isaac Lord, it is game over. There is the 55, I should say, of Kieran Pepper. But yeah, just talking about Will Orton in 2nd position. Won yesterday's final, of course, and has had a very busy pre-season. Has been a star in Europe, has done a lot of great work over in various championships overseas. And just recently, the beginning of the month, he was one of the drivers competing for a place in the Junior Saloon Car Championship and their scholarship at the Croft Race Circuit. So Will Orton, definitely a name you want to keep an eye on in 2019. He was one of the final few drivers considered for that scholarship. So he very nearly went car racing this year, but he's here in Super 1, pushing hard in Junior ROK, and he is, on paper, my favourite for the 2019 title. Let's not forget that last year Will Orton was the British representative for the FIA Karting Academy trophy, and that's a championship that in the past has been won by Charles Leclerc, and they only pick top talents. Will Orton was in the British contingent last year along with Josh Rattican, so a very good pair of drivers, those two, that were represented for Great Britain, and that's why Will Orton, a very talented racer. Can he close up now on Louis Harvey? He beat him in yesterday's final. He was the winner in the earlier pre-final. Can he put one over on Louis Harvey again? Or is it going to be 2 out of 2 for each of them? So, in 3rd position, Tiernan Rourke. Ben Doughty, sorry, still there in 4th position in front of Max Davies and Kieran Pepper. Isaac Lord out of the race. Do keep an eye on us on the Facebook page. Lots of updates in between rounds as well. There's lots of news all the way through the season on the Super 1 Series Facebook page. You can keep up to date with it on the TDI Media YouTube channel as well. And if you want to get on the grid, there's still plenty of time. The next round of the championship is on May the 4th and 5th at Rowra, super1series.com. There are plenty of classes. You can have one of the ROK categories. There's also the Hondas for cadets, the IARMY cadets, as well as the X30s potentially, hopefully making a reappearance. The Rotax classes, the TKM classes, there's still plenty of opportunities to come racing with Super 1 Series. And you could be adding your name to the illustrious list of drivers that have come through Super 1 Series and gone on to massive success in the world of motorsport. Down the main straight, Louis Harvey still in front of Will Orton. These two are having a nice little battle for 3rd place now. Tiernan Rourke and Ben Doughty. Max Davies is pulled away from Kieran Pepper. Did I spy Isaac Lord getting going again? I think he is round the outside of the circuit, but anyway, these two still duelling as Tiernan Rourke is absolutely resolute to keep Ben Doughty behind him as they come up to the chicane. And yes, that is Isaac Lord. He has got going again. I just spotted him going through there. So the kart is no longer at the boot. He has got it going. So through the hairpin. Still Tiernan Rourke versus Ben Doughty. Doughty trying to make his way through into the boot. Not very easy at this point, of course. Plenty of drivers have tried an overtaking move there and it's come off a cropper. I saw an accident in a championship a couple of years ago. Somebody dived up the inside line, clipped the curb and went roly-poly and ended up needing a new set of overalls the next time they went racing. It can be very, very tricky making overtakes here. You've got to time it absolutely spot on the mark. It can catch drivers out, but that is the 28 now. Ben Doughty getting away if he can from Max Davies, but Davies is definitely pushing him hard. And look at the gap that's opened up all of a sudden. I wonder if that is Ben Doughty with some kind of problem developing, because he was right on the back of Tiernan Rourke, and now Rourke has stretched rather dramatically away from him. That's more than just race pace. He's faster, Tiernan Rourke, at this stage of the race than Ben Doughty, but I would argue not that much faster. I have a feeling that something has come into play there against Ben Doughty, because now Max Davies is all over him. That gap is bigger than I would have expected it to be on pure pace back to Tiernan Rourke. But Max Davies is charging his way through after an earlier problem in the pre-final, so this is a chance for him to close up on Ben Doughty and go for the move that would see him rise to 4th. Kieran Pepper still 6th, Isaac Lord still 7th. Just watch the drivers charging through over those curbs. Great to see 2 wheels on the deck, 2 in the air, as they're absolutely on the limit through that corner. And there's nothing left to chance. You've got to nail it absolutely spot on every time. And there's a big difference between clipping the tyre barrier on the left and whispering it. And the very best drivers will literally skim the edge of the rubber of the tyre barrier as they fly through. It's a very impressive thing to push the kart through and charge it round. There is Will Orton, Litchfield Motorsports boy wonder, as he charges after Louis Harvey. It's the 52 of Tiernan Rourke. Mark Baines Motorsports young man, 28 Ben Doughty, as he tries to hang on in front of Max Davies. And still they charge their way through those curbs. To the left-hander, and Doughty is just about settling in. Whatever it was that caused that difficulty that dropped him off the back of Tiernan Rourke, that looked like a flash in the pan. So Max Davies is going to have to work very hard indeed to catch up to Ben Doughty. Early doors signs for the ROK Cup are good then in Great Britain. Some reasonable numbers for the first round, but there is going to be more of a presence as the season develops. We have got later rounds for the ROK categories in mini, junior and senior. We go to Rowra, May 18th and 19th, play Pigeon in Dorset, just down the road from where Jenson Button grew up. And of course that's the circuit where he learnt his craft before the season finale for the ROK categories at Shennington, August 23rd, 4th and 5th. It's going to be a great end to this first season, rocking these new chassis and new kart engines. But the Vortex brand is very much here to stay in the United Kingdom, thanks to the hard work of everybody behind the scenes. It's been a tough winter, nobody will deny that. But as John Hoyle has said on many occasions, it's been a bit like where we've had a difficulty in time qualifying and had to fly off the back of the grid. We are charging our way back through the pack. And I think that's very wise words from John Hoyle. A very good early sign from this first meeting. It's not been perfect, but I tell you what, there's definitely good signs that the future is still going to be very strong in this paddock. Great racing, and the ROK brand very much has made a fantastic impression on all of the drivers, all of the teams who have been taking the equipment, and there have been purchases of the engine even this weekend, I should point out, as well, as drivers have come along, had a look at it in race spec and gone, yep, I'm in, I want a piece of that. So we'll see a few more drivers out next time at Rowra in the mini ROK category for definite. There's rumours of more coming in for junior, and a few more seniors who have not been able to get to this round of the championship just because it's late March. It's still very early in the motorsport season. It's a bit earlier than tradition has usually seen the Super 1 Series start. We usually ended up the first or second weekend of April for the start of the Super 1 Series, so it's quite early that we've had this first round of the championship. So let's not be too negative about numbers yet. There's lots of different factors that have caused that. But when we get to Rowra in May, things will be different, things will be bigger, and I'm fairly sure things will be better. This battle's still raging on between these two, and they've tightened up, haven't they? Will Orton has been plugging away at this gap back to Louis Harvey, and with 2 minutes 15 plus the additional lap on the clock, he is still chipping away at it. This is going to be a bit of a showdown between these two. Further back, what's happened to Tiernan Rourke? Tiernan Rourke has dropped back. Yes, Ben Doughty has got him. So Ben Doughty is into third position. Tiernan Rourke seems to have lost some pace, and now Doughty is up to third, and Rourke is under pressure from Max Davies through the chicane. Fortunately, Isaac Lord got out of the way of Harvey and Orton fairly quickly. Good driving from him. But look at this, Will Orton now all over the back of Louis Harvey as they battle in the final couple of minutes of this weekend. The last junior ROK race of the day, the last race of the day for Super 1 Series in 2019 season opener in Fullbeck. This is going to be quite an exciting last 3 laps, isn't it? They're going to be absolutely all over it. Will Orton charging after Louis Harvey. Look at the gap they've pulled over Doughty, Rourke and Davies. It's an absolute mammoth gap. But now, this is where the race battle is going to be decided. Louis Harvey versus Will Orton. 2 brilliant names in the world of British karting over the last couple of seasons. They have really built themselves a bit of a brand. And now they're going to lock heads in this final couple of laps of the race. Will Orton still trying to make that decisive move through the hairpin, back on the power, short squirt up to the boot, in through the left, hairpin right, back on the power, keep the car travelling, you're flat on the throttle through the next right and the next left to come back onto the main straight once again. And Will Orton is shadowing Louis Harvey's every move. 1 lap to go after this one, because time is not quite there yet. Here comes a move from Rock. It looks like Doughty's got a problem. Looks like Doughty's got a mechanical problem, or at least made a mistake off the final corner and didn't get the speed he wanted. Something has definitely cost him dear, as Doughty is now down to 5th position. Well, he's still there. I would have thought he'd have dropped right off the back of them if it was a mechanical problem. Maybe just a simple mistake through the final part of the boot. It's easy to do, as Harvey has now gone into major defence mode to try and keep Will Orton at bay. Orton knows his tricks though. They've been at this all weekend already. The time will tick down, and it will tick down to 0 before they get to the line. So now this is the last lap as Will Orton challenges Louis Harvey for victory in the first Junior ROK televised final of the 2019 Super 1 Series campaign. Will Orton swarming over Harvey, who dives for the inside line, tries to hold that line to stop Will Orton coming through. But what can Will Orton cook up here? On the back straight, towards the S's, left, right, back on the power, left again, and here to the next left. A very big defensive move from Harvey. Will Orton still over the back of him. Is he going to dive for the hairpin on the inside? No, Harvey's going to keep the door firmly shut to the inside. Will Orton's running out of chances now, surely. He comes into the boot, through the right. I think Harvey's just done enough, but Will Orton will not give up. He comes out of the final turn, hoping to beat him across the line, but Harvey's going to get there first. It's a victory for Louis Harvey. Great result in front of Will Orton, and Max Davies fights his way through to a valiant 3rd position. Good comeback from Ben Doughty, nearly beating Tiernan Rourke to the line. I think he had a problem with top-end speed down that straight. That's where he was losing ground. So a bit of an issue there, unfortunately for Ben Doughty. He comes home 5th in front of Kieran Pepper and Isaac Lord. But Louis Harvey first blood this weekend in front of Will Orton. Max Davies there in 3rd. The battle for the Junior ROK title between Harvey and Orton is going to be great.
Louis, a couple of wins for you this weekend, a 2nd and a 3rd on the 4 races, but when it mattered, when the cameras came out, you came out on top. Just talk us through the race from your point of view.
We got a good start. We got straight into the lead and got a gap. Tyres started to come off towards the end, so Will caught up, but I managed to defend it well and win. I'd just like to thank Custom Motorsport for all their support, the great ARC chassis as always, all my sponsors, my family, my dad as a mechanic.
This one will go all the way to the final round between Louis Harvey and Will Orton for sure. Don't rule out Tiernan Rourke and Max Davis and Kieran Pepper for wins in the season.